All right, so first thing first we'll add our loader. So for that, let's have a piece of state here. So private bool is loading with a default value or false, or maybe we can have it as true also, but it's fine. And inside this, inside on initialized async, we'll say is loading true, and after getting the data we will set is loading to false. Now in our HTML markup we will check if is loading is true, then we will render our loader, that is this shared component we have created, else we'll have our actual content. All right, now we need to do this, having all these blazing URLs, client, shared components, all these lines. So it's good idea to move it to underscore imports.razor file for the client project, so that we don't have to write this fully qualified name. So we'll go to underscore imports.razor, and here we'll add at the rate using blazing url.client.shared components, and now we should be good. So save everything, and now we should see the loader. We'll check this, but before that let's try to work on the design of individual link items. Okay, so inside this for each we'll remove this UL first, we don't need this UL. And inside this for each we will have a div with some classes. So first we'll have some padding, let's say p2. We'll have margin bottom MB, let's say 4. We will have border bottom, and we will have a shadow. All right, now inside this let's have, we will have 3 or 4 columns. First we'll have our link icon, that is just for indication, the UI looks good with that. Then we will have the link text, link URLs basically. After that we are going to have total number of clicks and a view details button, and then at the very end we will have one more column, and there we will have our edit and delete buttons. So for that let's have div class row. Inside this row we are going to have first column for the link text, link URL. So for that we'll have it as div class, let's say call sm3. Okay, or not 3, let's say 6. All right, and there is some div missing here, closing tag. Okay, after this 6 we will have 3 for that. So this 3 for view details and total number of clicks, and then after that one more call sm3 for our edit and delete buttons. All right, so inside the first one call sm6, here we are going to have one div with some classes, and inside this here we'll have that link icon, then vertical line, and then long URL and short URL. Okay, so we'll make this using bootstrap classes basically with some custom styling if required. So let's first add this, then we'll see how it looks and what is my vision actually for this. All right, so in this call sm6, in this div class I am going to use display flex. First thing is this, Then I'm going to use flex column. And in this flex column, first thing we'll have that link icon. So I class, and we are using box icon. So bx and bx link. This is the icon we tested when we were trying box icon, right? If you remember. All right. After this, we'll display if the link is active, we'll display check mark. If link is not active, we will display that cross mark. Okay. So here we can check if link dot is active. If link is active, then we'll say I class not fa. I have used font awesome in my life a lot, so I still have that habit with I class fa. Do let me know in the comment if you guys have used font awesome icons. All right, so bx and bx check. This is the class for the check mark, and we'll make it green. So text success. This class comes from Bootstrap, of course. And let's make it bold, fw bold. All right, and let's have this title attribute. This is pure HTML, so that we know what this is. All right, now if the link is not active, so we'll add else part. Let's copy this I, and here first thing, instead of bx check, we will use class bx-x, which is for cross mark. Then the color, we need it in red color, so text danger. And then this title, this is going to be inactive. All right, now this is the first section, those two icons. After that, we are going to have one vertical line. So for that, Bootstrap gives us VR class, which is vertical rule. So it is kind of that horizontal rule, HR. So HR is a pure HTML tag, but VR is a class. And for this VR to work, we need to have this VR should be a child of display flags. So on this call SM6, we are going to use display flags. So now we have this vertical rule VR, and after that we are going to have the links basically. So here let's say div class. Now whatever space remaining after these two, we want this div to span to the entire space inside this call SM6. Okay, so for this, in flex box in CSS, we have flex grow properties, right? So here we'll say flex grow 1. Okay, this class comes from Bootstrap, which sets that flex grow to 1. That means just start growing till whatever space is remaining, you can grow. All right, so now inside this thing we'll add our links. So first, the short URL, which is the main thing for us. So for that, I'll use h5 tag, so that that we can show that short link in a bigger font basically. So in h5, first I'm going to have an anchor tag, so a href, and in this we are going to use link.short URL. So it will be a link, user can click on it and it will open up the short link, right? And then we can open this in a new tab or new window, right? For that, we can simply say target underscore blank, so that it opens up in a separate window or separate tab. All right, now in this we are going to add a couple of CSS classes. So link, let's say dark, to make it a kind of black color link. Sorry, yeah. Now in this, let's have the same title attribute, so we'll say link.short URL, and I guess we are good. This is the link, and the display text, it is also going to be the same short URL. All right. After this anchor tag, we want to have that copy button here as well, so that if we want, we can copy that short URL. Okay. So for this, we'll say button type button. And on this, we are going to say class btn, btn sm for small button, btn default. This is for color basically. And we'll have ms, which is margin start, so that we can have some spacing between the link and this copy button. On click, we'll add it later. But for now, the text of this button is going to be I class bx copy, that copy icon. All right, so now we are good with this h5. After this, we will have the long URL. So for that, what we can do, and we will use a small tag so that it looks small. And on this small tag, we are going to have class display flex. And now we are going to have let's say span. Inside this, we'll say long URL. And here we'll have our long URL, the same kind of HTML which we have for this short URL. So let's copy this short URL HTML, this anchor tag, and we'll add it here. The only thing we'll change, it should be long URL. Title should be long URL. And the href should be long URL. All right. After this, we'll have same copy button. So let's copy this copy button. And now we are good. Now our first section is ready. Now for the second column, call SM3, we want to show number of clicks, the total clicks, and then we want to display a button with view details button basically. Okay. So here we'll have, let's say h5 only. Here we'll say total clicks, and we can get it from link dot total clicks, and I think we have not created anything related to this. So let's quickly do that first. So we'll go to our link DTO first. We'll add a property here. Public int total clicks. All right. After that, we'll go to our service in main project. Main project service is link service. So here when we are getting the link, get link by user async, here when we are selecting this link DTO, here what we'll do, we'll say total clicks equals L dot link analytics. This is the navigation property, and on this we are going to use count property. All right, so now we will have total clicks. So whatever entries we have in this, we are going to use that. For now it will be 0 because we don't have that logic yet. We'll implement it later. All right, let's go back to my links. And now total clicks, here we can say @link dot total clicks. All right. And after this, we'll have an href, and this should be the detail page for single link. So here we'll say /app/mylinks/link URL, link ID basically. So here we'll say link.id. All right. On this, we are going to add classes. So btn, btn sm, and btn main. Let's use this. All right. And inside this anchor tag, let's have one icon. So I class bx and bx chart, bx hyphen chart. This is this chart, and after this we are going to have a span, and here we'll say view details. All right. Now let's have some spacing between these two. So me margin end 1. All right. So our second thing is ready. The second column is ready. Now let's go to the third column where we are going to have two buttons, one for edit, one for delete. Okay, so these buttons, we want these buttons vertically. All right, so for that what we'll do, on this call sm3 we'll say display flex, then we'll say flex column, so that whatever direct items we have inside this div, those should be vertically stacked, so in a column. All right, now in this display flex column we can say justify content center and align items center, so that these buttons are vertically and horizontally center aligned. All right, now inside this we are going to have first button, so button type button, then bootstrap classes btn, btn sm, let's say btn outline dark. Okay, inside this we are going to have I class, so bx added, this is the icon, then we'll have a span here, and here we'll say edit, and on this bx icon, this icon as well, we'll say me1 margin and 1 to add some spacing. Now let's copy this button, paste it again, change the icon to bx trash, delete icon, and instead of edit the text is going to be delete, and the buttons class btn outline dark, instead of dark we will use danger for deletion. All right, so looks like our UI is fine. Now we can check how it looks and then we can fix further if any change is required. Okay, there must be some things which we need to fix when we run it, so let's see how it looks. And it's here. If we see, if we go to my links, what happened? Okay, so we can at least see the UI. We need to fix the appearance a bit, we'll do that. All right, so let's start first from this first section. Let's try to see if the hot reload works. So here, first thing, this link icon and this thing, this also we need flex column. Okay, it should be flex hyphen column. So if we save it, is hot reload working? And looks like it is. Yeah, it worked. It took some time, but it is working now. Hopefully you can see it. These icons are very small, so let's make these bigger. Okay, what we can do, maybe on this div where we have display flex, let's say h3, save it, hot reload, and yes, at least we can see something. On this VR, this vertical rule, this line, let's have some spacing from both of these sides. So on this VR, what we'll do, we'll say mx3. All right, it is looking fine. For these things, these icons, let's make these vertically center. Okay, so we have flex column. So for flex column, what we need to do, let's say align items center, but for flex this should be justify content center. Yeah, it moved a bit, right? All right, so this thing is fine. Then we have long URL, short URL, we have copy buttons, we have total clicks, view details, and then we have edit and delete these buttons. So for these edit and delete buttons, let's have some spacing between these two. So for these buttons, we have this display flex, flex column, justify content center, align item center, and then we'll say gap, which is a predefined class, we'll say gap 2. And we can see some spacing here. All right. So finally, we are good with the design. Okay, it looks cool. Now next thing we need to work on the, we don't have paging yet, so we want to implement that quick grid so that we can have paging. Okay, that thing we'll do next, and after that we'll work on this copy, these copy icons, so that we can copy the long URL, short URL, and then we'll have that logic here that we want to display all the links or just active links. All right, so these things, let's quickly start working on these one by one. So first thing, quick grid. Stop it.